In the last episode, I had finally found a sense of hope and purpose with my allies, Elara, Kael, and Zephyr, as we launched a series of daring raids against Arkea's supplies, disrupting their stronghold and fueling the flames of rebellion. But with every victory, Lyra's relentless pursuit and a cryptic message from an unknown sender threatened to tear us apart, sowing distrust and uncertainty about who might be a traitor in our midst. I stood at the edge of our makeshift camp, gazing out at the darkening horizon as the wind whispered secrets in my ear. My mind reeled with questions. Who was behind the message, and what did they want from us? I thought back to the words etched on the parchment, "Trust no one, for the shadows hide in plain sight." Elara approached me, her eyes locked on mine with a deep concern. "What's wrong, Alex? You've been distant for days." I took a deep breath, trying to gather my thoughts. "I just can't shake off the feeling that we're being watched, that there's a traitor among us. This message, it's like they're playing a game of cat and mouse with us." Kael and Zephyr joined us, their faces lit by the flickering flames of our campfire. "We need to focus on the task at hand," Alex said. "We can't let fear and doubt tear us apart." But as I looked into their eyes, I saw a glimmer of unease. We all knew that the road ahead would be fraught with danger, and that our unity was the only thing that could keep us standing. The question was, could we trust each other? A chill ran down my spine as I sensed we were being watched. I spun around, but there was no one there. The wind rustled through the trees, and I felt a presence lurking just beyond our camp's edge. Elara's hand on my arm was a gentle reminder that I wasn't alone. "What is it, Alex?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. The trees seemed to loom over us, casting long, ominous shadows on the ground. And then a twig snapped. The sound was like a crack of thunder in the silence. I reacted on instinct, pulling Elara close as we both dropped to the ground. Kael and Zephyr followed suit, their movements swift and practiced. The darkness seemed to coalesce into a figure, tall and imposing. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, my senses on high alert. The figure took a step closer, its features still shrouded in the darkness. I can feel its eyes on me, boring into my soul like cold, calculating stars. Will I be able to protect my friends, or would we succumb to the shadows closing in around us? The world seemed to hold its breath, and I knew I had to act fast. The night was young, and our fate hung in the balance. Previously, the cryptic message, "Trust no one, for the shadows hide in plain sight," had sown distrust among Alex and his allies, Elara, Kael, and Zephyr, as they navigated the challenges of their rebellion against Arkea. A sense of unease had settled over them, a feeling that a traitor might be lurking in their midst. As they stood vigilant, a presence had begun to manifest, its eyes fixed intently on Alex. The darkness seemed to take on a shape as a figure stood before I usantly motioned. "Oh!" My heart was racing, my senses on high alert as I scanned the surroundings, searching for an escape route or a weakness in the figure's stance. Kael and Zephyr flanked me, their eyes fixed on the looming presence, while Elara clung to my arm, her breathing shallow. The figure didn't seem to have a physical form, invisible yet undeniably present. I strained my eyes, trying to make out any features, but there was nothing. No face, no shape, just an unsettling feeling of being watched. "Elara, stay close," I whispered, my voice barely audible. She nodded, her grip on my arm tightening. "We need to get out of here," Kael whispered, his eyes darting towards the surrounding trees. "This isn't a natural presence." Zephyr nodded in agreement. "Let's move now." But I hesitated. Something about this presence felt familiar. A shiver ran down my spine as I took a step forward, my eyes locked on the void where the figure stood. "You want something from me," I stated, my voice firm. "What is it?" The air seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy, and then a low hum filled the air. The presence began to take on a more defined shape, standing before me. It was a woman with piercing green eyes. Her skin had a translucent quality, as if she were crafted from moonlight and shadows. "I've been searching for you, Alex," she said, her voice like a soft breeze. "My name is Arachne. I have information about Lyra and the true nature of your destiny." My mind reeled with questions, but Arachne's words struck a chord deep within me. I sensed that she might hold the key to unraveling the mysteries that had haunted me since the beginning of our rebellion. "What do you want from me?" I repeated, my voice cautious. Arachne's gaze drifted towards Elara, moved closer, and her voice took on a conspiratorial tone. "The traitor you're searching for is closer than you think. One of your own allies harbors a secret that could destroy your rebellion from within." Her words sent a shiver down my spine. I glanced at Kale, Zephyr, and Elara. Had I been blind to the truth? Elara's grip on my arm tightened. "Who?" she demanded, her voice firm. Arachne's gaze returned to mine, her eyes burning with an inner fire. "I'll reveal more," she said, "but first you must prove your worthiness." As Arachne vanished, we found ourselves surrounded. The enemy was not a faceless horde, but individuals we had considered allies. A glimmer of recognition dawned on me. Orion, the quartermaster, stood smirking, a sly smile spread across his face, treachery cut deep. Kale reacted fast and swiftly disarmed Orion. Alex grappled with complex moral questions about trust and unity. The world might test Alex. Previously, a mysterious figure, Arachne, had revealed herself to Alex, warning that a traitor was closer than he thought, and that one of his own allies harbored a secret that could destroy their rebellion. The revelation had sent shockwaves through Alex's group, and just as Arachne vanished, Orion, their quartermaster, had been exposed as a traitor. The sudden betrayal cut deep, and I could feel my heart racing with a mix of emotions. Anger, disappointment, and fear swirled together, making it hard to process everything at once. Kale's swift action had prevented Orion from causing harm, but the damage was already done. Trust, once broken, was difficult to repair. As I stood there, I stared at Orion, trying to make sense of his actions. How could someone I had considered a friend and ally turn against me? The questions swirled in my mind like a maelstrom, pulling me under. Elara's grip on my arm tightened. "What do we do with him?" she asked, her voice firm. I looked at her, then at Kale and Zephyr, who stood ready to act. I knew we couldn't just let Orion go, but I also didn't want to resort to violence without understanding his motivations. Take him into custody, I decided. Well, interrogate him and find out what he knows. Orion smirked. "Y'all never get anything out of me," he said, his eyes flashing with defiance. Zephyr stepped forward. "Well, see about that." The underworld expert took Orion away, leaving us to process the aftermath. As we regrouped, Elara's thoughts seemed to be elsewhere. I could sense her mind working overtime, trying to connect the dots. "What is it?" I asked, noticing her distant expression. She hesitated, then turned to me. "I've been thinking about my past." About what Arachne said. I listened it intently, sensing she was on the verge of sharing something important. Her eyes searched deep into mine. Header, start a header, start assistant. Previously, a mysterious figure, Arachne, had revealed herself to Alex, warning that a traitor was closer than he thought, and that one of his own allies harbored a secret that could destroy their rebellion. The revelation had sent shockwaves through Alex's group, and just as Arachne vanished, Orion had the sudden betrayal cut deep. Kale's swift action had prevented from causing harm, but the damage was already done. The world might test Alex. Trust, once broken, was difficult to repair. As I stood there, I stared at Orion, trying to make sense of his actions. How could someone I had considered a friend and ally turn against me? The questions swirled in my mind like a maelstrom, pulling me under. Elara's grip on my arm tightened. She seemed to sense my turmoil. Her eyes darted towards Orion. I knew I had to make a decision about Orion. I couldn't just let him go, but I also didn't want to resort to violence without understanding his motivations. Orion smirked. I knew then I couldn't trust him. Zephyr took Orion away, leaving us to process the aftermath. Elara seemed distant. I sensed her mind working overtime, trying to connect the dots. She turned to me. Her eyes searched deep into mine. She seemed hesitant, but then she opened up. Alex, I've been thinking about Arachne. I think I know what she might be referring to. My ears perked up. I sensed she was on the verge of sharing something important. What is it? I asked. Elara took a deep breath. Her eyes locked onto mine. I think it's about my past. I've been hiding from. I never wanted to get involved, but I was forced into it. Then I wasn't able to control assistant. She seemed pausing, a deep tea breath. Elara seemed cologne inhale X. His eyes had not forgotten. Assistant sect, I will help you rewrite this text to meet your needs. Previously, Arachne's ominous warning still lingered, revealing a traitor within their midst, and Orion's shocking betrayal had left Alex reeling. Kale's swift action had prevented Orion from causing harm, but the damage was already done. With trust shattered, Alex was now faced with the daunting task of rebuilding alliances. Orion smirked. I knew then I could and trust him. Zephyr took Orion away. Elara seemed distant. I sensed her mind working overtime. She turned to me. Her eyes searched deep into mine. She seemed hesitant. But then she opened up. Alex, I've been thinking about Arachne. I think I know what she might be referring to. My ears perked up. I sensed she was on the verge of sharing something important. What is it? I asked. Elara took a deep breath. My past. I've been hiding. I never wanted to get involved. But I was forced into it then. I wasn't able to control my destiny. The more I learned about Elara's past, the more I realized I had a lot to learn. I felt a surge of determination to protect her, no matter what. The revelation sparked a new wave of uncertainty. A traitor still lurked. I knew I had to act fast to protect my allies. As the interrogation room door opened, a hooded figure, introduced himself as Lyrien's envoy, stood before. He handed Elara a small device. The device contained a hidden message. The envoy whispered, Elara, your past may hold more than you think. Meet me at the old windmill on the outskirts if you want to uncover the truth. Come alone. He vanished. Elara's world was turned upside down. I could sense her resolve being tested. Elara looked at me. Her eyes searched deep into mine. I knew then she was determined to face her past. I have to do this, Alex, for myself and for us. My leadership rested on my ability to support Elara through the trials ahead. Her unlocked growth would end her heterid. Alex stood tall. Well, face it together. Kale nodded. Well, provide Overwatch. Zephyr smiled. Underworld connections. I knew then Alex was more determined than ever. And her dared. And her dare. And her dacious. Alex's small but fierce rebellion was about to be tested. He stood on the rooftop of an abandoned building overseeing the city. Elara stood beside him, her eyes locked on his. Alex knew as leader. His actions set the tone for his group. Alex's companions stood resolute beside him. Alex clenched his fist. The traitor still lurked. Kale's strategic acumen and Zephyr's underworld connections would guide him. Alex pondered. Lyrien hints at a game-changing discovery hidden within the ancient Eldrid ruins. His growing understanding and unity with his companions was key. Their unbreakable bond was the key to survival. As night fell, the city came alive. The sounds of crickets and distant patrols filled the air. Alex gazed out at the city. His rebellion had taken a major blow. Betrayal still hurt. He looked at Elara. Her strength inspired him. Elara's journey was one of self-discovery. Her past still haunted her. She seemed at peace. Her eyes sparkled with a newfound sense of purpose. The night air carried secrets and danger. The game-changing device lay hidden within ancient Eldrid ruins. Uncharted territories beckoned. The clock was ticking. The enemy closed in. He had one ally on the inside. No time to waste. A new plan was formed. Zephyr nodded. The unlikely partnership deepened Alex's insight. Zephyr's plan unfolds. The unlikely team leader Alex was forged through fire. A new unanswered question formed. A looming danger was closing in. Orion wasn't the only traitor. Another traitor was closer than Alex thought. The game was afoot. Lyrien watched from the shadows. A new move was made. The world trembled. Arachne watched. Elara stepped forward. A glimmer of hope emerged. Their bond strengthened. Alex forged ahead. The city waited. Their rebellion still burned. Elara's newfound voice ignited. Kale's strategy was set. Their test had begun. Their story had just taken a dramatic turn. Their destiny awaited. Previously, Arachne's ominous warning still lingered, revealing a traitor within their midst, and Orion's shocking betrayal had left Alex reeling. Kale's swift action had prevented Orion from causing harm, but the damage was already done. Elara had begun to open up about her past. Header, start, and a mysterious message had been delivered to her, hinting at a deeper truth. As Elara stood beside him, resolved in her determination to face her past, Alex felt a surge of confidence in their bond. "Let's get you ready," he said, turning to Kale and Zephyr. "We don't know what Elara will be walking into at the old windmill, but we'll be there to support her." The night air was alive with the sounds of crickets and distant patrols, but Alex's focus was on the task ahead. He glanced at Elara, her eyes locked on his own. The soft glow of the setting sun cast a warm light on her face, illuminating the determination etched on her features. With a nod, Kale began to outline their strategy. "We'll set up a perimeter around the windmill, just in case things go south. Zephyr, can you get eyes on the area and make sure we're not walking into a trap?" Zephyr nodded, already pulling out her comms device to contact her underworld connections. "I'll get someone to scope out the area. If there's any sign of trouble, we'll know about it before we even get close." As they prepared to leave, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that they were running out of time. Lyrien's hints at a game-changing discovery within the ancient Eldrid ruins seemed to be slipping further and further away, and the pressure from Arkea's forces was mounting. Their small group set out towards the old windmill on the outskirts of the city as the clock ticked away. The darkness seemed to press in around them, and Alex's senses were on high alert, scanning their surroundings for any sign of danger. As they approached the windmill, Elara's pace slowed, her eyes fixed on the abandoned structure. Alex could sense her resolve being tested, her mind racing with memories and doubts. "Hey," he said softly, taking her hand in his, "I'm here with you. Whatever it is, we'll face it together." Elara's grip on his hand tightened, a small smile playing on her lips. "I know, Alex. That's why I can do this." The windmill loomed before them, its crumbling stones a testament to the city's neglect and decay. A figure emerged from the shadows, dressed in a long coat that billowed in the wind. "Elara," the figure said, their voice low and gravelly, "I've been waiting for you." Elara's eyes narrowed, her gaze piercing the darkness. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice firm. The figure stepped closer, revealing a woman with piercing green eyes. "My name is Neve. I've been searching for you for a long time, Elara. You have a legacy to claim." As Neve handed Elara a small device, Alex's instincts screamed warning. Something didn't feel right. But Elara's eyes sparkled with a newfound sense of purpose, and he knew he had to trust her. The device contained a hidden message, one that seemed to awaken a deep well of memories and emotions within Elara. Her eyes widened, and she took a step back, as if the truth was too much to bear. "Elara, what's going on?" Alex asked, his voice low and urgent. Elara's gaze locked on his, a glimmer of hope emerging in her eyes. "I remember now, Alex. My past, it's not what I thought it was. I was part of something bigger. Something that could change the course of our rebellion." The revelation sparked a new wave of uncertainty, but also a sense of determination. Alex knew that they had to act fast, to uncover the truth and protect their allies. As they left the windmill, with a newfound sense of purpose. Their rebellion still burned bright, and Alex knew that their ultimate test was just beginning. But little did they know, another traitor was closer than Alex thought, watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The game was afoot, and Lyrien watched from the shadows, a new move made. The world trembled, and Arachne's ominous warning still lingered, a reminder that their journey was far from over. In the midst of this chaos, Zephyr disappeared into the night. A message was sent. Their unlikely partnership deepened Alex's insight. KL formulated a daring new plan. Alex readied for the challenge ahead. The city waited. Elara's voice ignited. As Elara stepped into her newfound purpose, Alex clenched his fist. The enemy closed in. A new question was raised. Could Elara's past hold the key to their rebellion's survival? The answer would have to wait. A looming danger closed in. Their destiny awaited. Previously, Elara had finally begun to uncover the truth about her past from a mysterious figure named Neve, who handed her a device containing a hidden message that awakened a deep well of memories and emotions within her. With this newfound understanding of her legacy, Elara's eyes sparkled with a sense of purpose, and Alex felt a surge of hope that her past might hold the key to their rebellion's survival. But as they walked away from the windmill, a sense of unease settled in, as another traitor remained at large, watching from the shadows. As they made their way back to their hideout, Zephyr's sudden disappearance into the night had left a void, and Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that she had been summoned by something urgent. The city seemed to be holding its breath, the darkness pulsing with an undercurrent of tension. Kale's new plan was already taking shape, but Alex knew that time was running out. The silence between them was filled with unspoken questions, and Alex couldn't help but wonder what Elara's memories would mean for their rebellion. He glanced at her, her eyes fixed on the device in her hand, a small smile playing on her lips. The flickering lights of the hideout's makeshift lanterns cast eerie shadows on the walls as they entered. Their makeshift base was abuzz with activity, rebels scurrying about, preparing for their next move. Alex spotted Kale conferring with a group of strategists, poring over maps and schematics. He excused himself, making his way over to Kale. "What's the plan?" Alex asked, his eyes scanning the gathered intel. "We've received reports of an Arkean supply convoy heading towards the Eldrid ruins," Kale replied, his voice low and urgent. "If we can intercept it, we might be able to disrupt their operations and gain valuable intel." Alex's mind was already racing with the possibilities. "Let's gear up and get moving. We can't let Lyrien's hints go to waste." The team sprang into action, mobilizing their forces and preparing for the high-risk operation. As they set out, Alex felt a sense of excitement mixed with trepidation. The city was a labyrinth of danger, and one wrong move could spell disaster. As they navigated the rooftops and alleyways, Elara's presence beside him was a reassuring constant. Her newfound sense of purpose had ignited a fire within her, voice ringing out as she rallied the rebels. Her words were laced with a conviction that inspired the others, and Alex felt a surge of pride and admiration for her growth. The night air was alive with the sounds of revving engines and screeching tires as they approached the convoy's expected route. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, his senses on high alert. This was it, their chance to strike back at Arkea and change the course of their rebellion. The convoy came into view, a procession of armored vehicles and transports. Alex gave the signal, and their team sprang into action, taking out the lead vehicle and sending the convoy into chaos. The firefight was intense, but Alex's team had the upper hand, having chosen their ground carefully. Elara moved with a deadly precision, her skills honed from a past he never could have imagined. As the dust settled, they began to scavenge the spoils, salvaging valuable supplies and data crystals. But amidst the chaos, Alex caught a glimpse of a familiar face, a face that made his blood run cold. Lyra, the relentless pursuer, was watching from the shadows, her eyes locked on Elara. Alex's grip on his rifle tightened, his instincts screaming warning. What did Lyra want, and how did she fit into Elara's mysterious past? The battle may have been won, but the war was far from over. As they made their way back to their hideout, Elara's voice still echoed in his mind, a beacon of hope in the darkness. But little did they know, Lyra's presence was only the beginning. A new player was about to enter the fray, one who would challenge everything Alex thought he knew about the rebellion and the true nature of their struggle. The city waited, holding its breath. Elara's legacy had been uncovered, but the true test of their rebellion was only just beginning. Could they survive the coming storm, and what secrets lay hidden in Elara's past, waiting to be revealed? The night air seemed to thicken, heavy with foreboding, as Alex gazed out into the darkness, his heart pounding with anticipation. The game was afoot, and the stakes had never been higher.